The Senate is attempting to severely restrict press coverage of the impeachment trial, and this is something that it has drawn significant backlash for obvious reasons. This is a huge deal, and the American people deserve to know what's going on during this trial. However, these restrictions go too far. The Senate Sergeant at Arms and Capitol Police are adding restrictions on members of the press during the trial, including additional screening and new constraints on reporters' freedom of movement in the Capitol. The restrictions allow just one video camera and no still photography or audio recording in the trial. Credentialed reporters who go through security screening to enter the Capitol will be screened a second time to enter the Senate chamber to watch the trial proceedings to ensure no restricted materials enter the trial. The restrictions, which the committee said potentially include confining reporters to a single press pen on the second floor of the Senate, threaten to curtail reporters' access to senators during a historic impeachment trial. On a normal day, reporters are free to try to talk with senators outside the Senate chamber, in the basement, or in the hallways of the Capitol. So basically, look, this is what's going on. Republican senators don't want to deal with difficult questions as they enable the criminality of Donald Trump. That's what's happening here. And the Senate is willing to violate the First Amendment in order to protect these disgusting, corrupt senators.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, AOC was 100% right like a billion years ago when she said this is about getting them on the record. And they're trying to make it so that they're as on the record as possible.
Exactly.
Like, okay, I guess we technically have to have a trial, but don't take any pictures of me and don't record my voice and leave me alone in the hallways. And it's such a specific, weird level of restriction that you can't do still photography, but you can do a video camera that takes 30 still photos a second for as long as you want. What are they talking about? I'm hoping that there will still be enough access that they will be able to have their video cameras. I'm hoping that they'll still be able to put them on the record.
Well, these restrictions cannot stand. They just can't. And so there needs to be a fight over this. Obviously not a physical fight, but this needs to be challenged.
If there was a physical fight, we may never know.
We're not advocating for a physical fight, just to be clear. But I do want to give you some of the backlash that the Senate is receiving. Don't smirk.
I didn't smirk.
You think you're so funny.
The camera's not even on me. I'm not advocating for anything. The camera's not on me. No still photography, okay?
Don't record his voice. Okay, well, let's talk about some of the backlash because the Standing Committee of Correspondents, a group of reporters who represent and advocate for credentialed media in the Senate Daily Press Gallery, sent a forceful letter to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Minority Leader Charles Schumer decrying the possible restrictions.
That ought to do it.
So I know strong letters make me laugh. No one cares about strong letters. But
perhaps if we shame McConnell, he will do what is right.
No, this should be taken up. This should be taken up in the courts, I think. This is crazy. This is a violation of reporters' First Amendment rights. We're supposed to have freedom of the press, especially when it comes to situations like this, where Congress is supposed to be holding the executive branch accountable. Remember we have a system of checks and balances. Does that matter to anyone anymore?
Not to many.
It's pathetic. Well, here's a little snippet from the letter that was sent to the Senate. Capitol Hill is one of the most accessible places in Washington, but the proposed restrictions exceed those put in place during the State of the Union, Inauguration Day, or even during the Clinton impeachment 20 years ago. The gallery committee said they had tried to work with the Rules Committee and the Senate's Sergeant at Arms, but every suggestion they made was rejected without an explanation of how the restrictions contribute to safety rather than simply limit coverage of the trial.
Yeah, because it's hard to explain the danger that is posed by a JPEG being taken of a senator as he walks down a hallway.
Right.
It's hard to explain how multiple representatives are gonna die from an audio recording of their voices. There's no argument to be made, and so they're avoiding having to even have that argument.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.